Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? How are we tonight?
Good evening. I'm good. You?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. DJ, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. That's not working. Is that working?
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah,
Okay. Your little icon was taking its time to turn off.
yeah, it did a little bit there. It's a bit weird, but there we go. Discord being Discord as always. Lovely. Brilliant. Well, thank you all for turning up. Welcome to all of our new members, and welcome back to a few of our returning old ones as well. Welcome back to you guys. Thank you as always to our supporters as well. You guys make this happen, so yeah, thank you so much for showing us some support. Should we jump straight into Arc? Yep, brilliant.
Why not?
We have our third large-scale Arc event. It's going to begin at 7 PM UK time this Saturday. You'll be able to transfer your character across to the event map from about 6:30. Please don't bring anything with you. Everything you need will be provided. And congratulations to Vyram on winning the Domination Rex screenshot competition as well. Well done to you. And we also have second and third place prizes for that as well. On to the technical side of things. DJ, what have we been working on Arc-wise this week?
Well, I've been really interested to know if anyone has applied those rewards yet to just make sure they work, because they are a product of Wicked Ninja's workshop. So, there's every chance it might not. Also, going in this week, we've got Wolfie kindly gave me some whole list for dedicated storage for docs. So there's a whole chunk of that stuff going in. If anybody has anything they do want to add to dedicated storage on either of the clusters, getting those suggestions into the dojo before the end of tonight would be good, because I'm updating those lists. The other thing is, I see people are still struggling a little bit with feeding babies. Give the new Feeding Troughs a whirl. They are built from totally different code to the S Plus ones, much older, possibly a lot more reliable, and try them out and let me know. I think that would be very helpful.
Are those our
Also-
WNG Feeding Troughs, DJ, the ones
Yeah.
you've built for us?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
they're inventory craft, so you don't have to craft them on the replicator, but engram requirements are still there. So you're not just going to go off and craft yourself a tech craft, sorry. The other thing which I wanted to talk about as well, we got all hyped last week about the boss events. Yay! They were going to be cool. Unfortunately, due to the way that Arc works, recent updates caused issues for sporting those events and could potentially lead to a server crash. So we've got an update to those events. Normally we would deploy them in real time, but another recent update to Arc has made it so that the API integration we use to hook our custom stuff into Arc cannot be updated in real time. So unfortunately we have to wait till tomorrow, where I'll deploy the new event system, and from tomorrow we can start having the events bosses spawning on Ragnarok and Scorched Earth. I have come across one thing which I do want a bit of feedback on that though. The Domination Rexes from the events, they have a kind of an irritating habit of wandering off outside the event arena, across the deserts, around Scorched Earth, and I can see some rather unlucky and unsuspecting player transferring in, immediately getting chomped in one hit without a chance to retaliate, and then the boss will just ping back to its arena, and they will be wondering why a level like 1500 or 4000 Domination Rex just bit their head off for no apparent reason. So I am up for changing those bosses to something that's a bit more controllable. The mechanics of the fight won't really change, but I just want to change their behavior. So anyone's got any suggestions about dinos that would make good bosses for Scorched Earth, for Domination Rex events, for the Dommy saddles and stuff like that? Open suggestions, want some ideas.
Super Deathworm.
Yeah, well, we've got Super Deathworm. That spawns on Rag in the Murder Snow.
Oh, of course, we've got the Ice Queen, yes.
Yeah.
Dragons. Dragons.
So it's basically any dinos that if you drop them on a map won't suddenly decide they want to wander around the entire map. I think the problem is actually scorched earth because the desert biome is not a biome that's native to the Rex or the Domination Rex or UTs or stuff like that, so it tends to wander off. But yeah, let's have a think about that. Meanwhile, the other 3 events we'll put into a cycle on. Yeah, see, I like that idea. Okay, that's awesome. Can't use the mod simple spawners, force them to stay put. Yes, I can, but then I don't have any control over the encounter itself. I can spawn it, I can tell it to stay within a certain area, but I can't tweak the loot on it. I can't really easily add in support dinos. It's just a bit tricky, and scheduling those things is a pain as well because it all goes from when the server comes up, not scheduled times and stuff like that. The cool thing is if they get into combat, then they spring back to the arena. But if getting into combat is biting somebody once and killing them, it's not quite the desired effect. But anyways, moving on. I've got a couple of things I want to ask that are slightly not ARC related. As you've noticed in Discord, or you may not have noticed, all the ranks now have a little rank icon. For the time being, I've put in placeholder icons just to show you what's what. But happy to take suggestions and even submissions for new icons. And we'll push that across the entirety of Discord. So post in the vault will show you your rank and have your little icon next to it and say what rank does what. And then you'll get those ranks in chat and they'll tie up with the list over on the right in Discord and everything. So I've just done placeholder ones for the time being. But if anyone wants to make suggestions or come up with ideas on what we should use in place of them, then by all means, let us know.
Just as a side note on that, Grey Fox had offered earlier if we wanted some custom stuff doing.
Yes, I saw.
Cool.
I've replied to Grey Fox and given him a list of the ones that we're looking out for. So it's the ideally it's the ranks or tier 1, 2, and 3, and you've got 4 game icons for people who register an interest in the game but don't actually support, and then you've got the 2 ninja ranks, yellow and red. There's a list of those, interestingly enough, in one of the showcase channels, so I may move it somewhere else so it's more accessible. So I think it's the 7 Days Showcase channel, which kind of seemed a little bit fitting because that's where the artwork ended up, and artwork should be in Showcase and kind of just develop from there. I'll give you a hand with that later, Bob. The other thing I want to draw out, I don't know if you've got plans to talk about our new emojis, Tom?
I was going to mention that
Oh, cool.
in a second. Actually, if you want to take it, feel free. You probably know more about it than I do anyway.
No, not at all. I'll leave that to you.
Cool. So we have had a submission from, I'm going to butcher this, and they're in the channel, so I'm sure they'll correct me. Anatnem? Something along those lines. We've had a submission for an absolute boatload of emojis, which I believe are in our events or news channel. They're in our events channel. So a massive, massive thank you to you on that one. They'll be coming in as soon as DJ gets a chance to physically put those in. They're absolutely gorgeous, and it gives a lot of...
I should have those by now, by the way. I'll put those in.
Oh, brilliant. A load of absolutely brilliant Alice emojis there, along with some a sticker there as well, which is absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for that. And like I say, as soon as we can get those physically available for you guys, they'll be ready and raring to go. Excellent. DJ, did we have anything else you wanted to add while we're here before we move on to 7 days?
No, I don't think so. Just to kind of sum that up, we've got a bunch of changes coming in for docs around dedicated storage, taking suggestions on dedicated storage for the live server, the main cluster. Bosses, we'll start scheduling from after downtime tomorrow once we get the plugin updates in. And that's pretty much it for this week. Oh yes, and check out all the stuff in our mod. So the tech trough, the standard feeding trough. I'm hoping they'll be much more reliable than the S Plus and vanilla troughs. And also, don't forget they block resources and dino spawns, or at least they should do. That was it.
DJ using the forbidden S word again, but there we go. Brilliant.
Yeah.
You always tell the second we use the S word, you can tell that it definitely won't, but that's great. So, moving on to 7 Days to Die, guys. We have, very similar to the Arc event that's starting on Saturday, we've started work on an event for 7 Days to Die as well. Basically, that's all I'm going to tell you about it, because it's all still very hush-hush and in the works. I've spent most of last week working on that and getting that to be about as good as we can get it, so that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Kay and myself will be working on that one over the coming weeks. Technically, with 7 days, everything seems to be going well. Nani, we've got a few changes coming up for the next week and the next season as well, I think.
We have indeed. Right, so let's go through a list. First things first. Reset zones on Darkness Falls have been changed now to every Sunday morning because we've had some population growth. We're going to monitor that, keep an eye on things, and see where we go with it. But you should see a lot more resources around you now and a lot more growth of stuff. Second on the list, we've got a double XP buff command that I've been testing out and sort of fine tuning for about a week now. That's actually working now. So what we're thinking of doing with that is having a command for supporters. So you can essentially give yourself a double XP buff for, I don't know, an hour, a couple of hours, and it will persist through death too. So if you do die, you don't lose your buff. So it's just a way of saying thank you to the supporters, maybe give you guys a bit of a hand up. So that should be announced and going live very, very soon. Secondly, a great idea. I was talking to Murdoch a few days ago, and he's, as many of you may be aware, on the Darkness server is running a shop. So vending machines, that sort of stuff, buy and sell items. He's becoming the Del Boy of 7 days at the moment. So with recent events that have changed the way we do teleports and how many teleports we have, it was mentioned that it kind of cripples people who want to run an online shop or want to run an in-game shop and have players visit them or teleport around. So we've been looking at some ways of having a shop-based system, and there's been a few ideas thrown around for this. One would be maybe a command that could be engineered for a chunk of Zombox that would allow you to create a waypoint that players could walk to check out your shop, buy your wares, and then head home to base with their home command. The other idea that's been thrown around by Kay is we have an area possibly similar to the Aurora area that's protected. It'll have a kick-out zone. We could either integrate it into Aurora, or we could make it a separate area like the trading zones we have at the moment and the trader areas. So we're still open to ideas on that. If anyone's got any cool ways or ideas, we could implement some sort of, I don't know, shopping mall area maybe as another good one. Maybe that's something Tom would like to work on. Don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely something I can kind of get my teeth into.
We have the dojo, so any ideas of how we would implement that or what people would like to see is all sort of to be taken on board. That's all good stuff. Aside from that, Ravenhurst is due really soon as well. We've had quite a busy week this week. We've had some Rust stuff going on, a couple of Minecraft issues. So I will get to work on putting together the Ravenhurst server soon, which is going to be another total overhaul, which, as I understand, focuses a little bit more on realism. So that's something else to do when people have got some time on their hands or fancy something different to do. And as usual, as mentioned earlier, any feedback, anything you feel would make the game a better place to be, give you a better quality of life experience, anything like that, please put some stuff in the dojo. Luke's there, everybody's all on board with the dojo, so just, give us some ideas. If there's anything you want to see, say so. I think that's it for 7 days this week.
Excellent, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, guys, if you want anything, obviously within certain realms of possibility. If you want to see anything in the game that currently isn't, whether that be Darkness Falls, Ravenhurst, even in the vanilla game, if you're wanting things like POIs or there's anything that you've seen that you kind of think that would be cool to add in, we can always look into doing things like that. Nani and I have been getting very, very familiar, like DJ does with Ark, with the modding side and the prefab side of 7 Days to Die. So if you guys have got any suggestions, even for things that don't exist that you'd like to see, if we can do it, we're more than happy to look into it and see if it's something that we can justify putting into the game with balance and that kind of thing. So yeah, excellent. On to Minecraft. Some of you may be aware, but basically nobody's noticed, we have taken down the SevTech Age of Skyblock server. Nobody has been using it, nobody has mentioned to us that it's been gone, so we're absolutely fine to say that nobody's really going to miss it. Standard SevTech has been much more popular, so we'll be using those cores for something much more fun. Narnia and I had a chat about what that'll be earlier on, and I'm very excited, but you will not know yet because we haven't put it in stone yet.
I have a couple of ideas of what we can do with that.
Yeah, there are some seriously fun ideas floating around with that one.
We've also got A20 dropping soon as well. They say they're going to have a test build of that out by Halloween, I believe, wasn't
Experimental by Halloween. They're hoping to get the stable version out by Christmas as well, which will be absolutely brilliant.
Maybe we can have a sneak preview at that, amongst other things. That'd be cool.
That'll be fun. That'll be really fun. Yeah, excellent. Nani, I think we've had some problems with Astral Sorcery as well.
Yep, I'm just going to say there is an outstanding issue with Astral Sorcery not allowing anyone to build anything. As soon as I've got some spare time, which I'm hoping is in the next 48 hours, I'm going to have a look into that and see what we can do. I just wanted to make those guys who do play Minecraft aware we've not forgotten about you, and I'm going to be getting to that as fast as possible.
Excellent, thanks for that. And you may as well take Rust while we're on as well, since you've been working closely with Cube.
Okay, so for those interested in Rust, we've had some issues with Discord integration, some software updated, the whole API system updated that integrates with Discord. So we had a collapse of the server over the last week. We were supposed to have a meeting with Cube again to iron out the last of the problems we had, but unfortunately that didn't happen due to the server being a real pain in the ass. That's now fixed. So there should be hopefully a last meeting going on with Cube on Friday. There are kits that need to be built, stack sizes that need to be tuned, and some logging enabled and tested so we can keep an eye on what's going on. Obviously, it's a PvP server, so we do need to keep an eye on that. But I think that's all that we've got outstanding at the moment. So hopefully we're eking ever so close now to a release date, and we can actually put that to bed and get you guys playing and having fun.
Absolutely brilliant, lovely. We're going to have a quick chat about something now, which is going to be very spontaneous because I want to give you guys a couple of minutes. Has anybody got any questions about anything we haven't covered? Anything that's kind of itching and burning for you guys? We'll have a couple of. Tam, what can we help Tam with? By the way, guys, if you want to come up and actually just talk to us, there's a little hand button at the bottom of the roundtable. You can just click it and we'll get you up and you can just ask directly. Valheim is a very, very, very small server. It's got a maximum of 10 players, Tam, so sadly it's not something we can put into place at the minute. We have heard they've got plans to increase the maximum server size, so if that does happen, we'd reassess it. And apparently Tam showed Nani a thing. Nani, do we want to know what the thing was, or
there is a mod as
was
far
it that
as I'm
kind
aware.
of?
Yeah, there's a mod kicking around that messes with that.
Okay, cool. So yeah, it's something we haven't said no to it quite yet, as far as I'm aware. We're just not gonna go for it yet because we've got lots of other things currently.
Yeah, I think the main thing there is there's quite a lot of things in the Cooper at the moment that we've been promising for quite a while. As there's only 2 or 3 of us, we need to finish those off and we need to put them to bed before we take on another chunk of work, or we're going to end up lying in a ditch somewhere sobbing or something.
As if that hasn't happened already. Bob, I'm assuming you're asking DJ, any plans for our Beetle Overlords? A dung beetle could be quite cool if we could make it aggressive for the Scorched Earth boss.
That would be very interesting. On the topic of the Beetle Overlords, they have been spreading their influence across the cluster. So yeah, keep an eye out for them. Creep into your base at night, let the other beetles out, and before you know it, they will be ruling the world.
Absolutely
I've
brilliant.
missed something here. Clearly, what's going on with the Beetle Overlords?
Oh, to bring you up to speed, then we've had sightings of rogue, unclaimed beetles roaming the cluster
Wow.
that are immune to server-side clear-up.
Holy hell! It's Halloween's approaching, so witchcraft.
They have powers.
It would
Wow.
appear so. Yeah, brilliant.
Your
Love
Be
beetles
having the
haven't
witch
been
hunters soon,
taken.
then, I guess.
Sorry, Bob, your beetles haven't been taken; they've been liberated.
it.
So keep an eye out for them.
It's a rebellion, boys and girls. There we go, brilliant. Well, I think that's it for questions. I'll give it another 30 seconds or so in case anybody's got anything new. Brilliant. Have we got any sneak stuff for what we're planning for the next week, guys? Have we got anything we want to maybe announce while we're here or anything like that? Or are we going to keep it all hush-hush for the time being?
Nothing apart from the events being rescheduled to be rescheduled.
Yep. So we've got the boss event on Arc, and then of course, yeah, we've got the event on Saturday as well. So head to events.
Well,
go on.
With the boss events in Arc, they will announce themselves in the Arc Global channel when they spawn.
Oh, brilliant!
Another thing that I'm actually was testing today to help people know when things are updated, when servers are rebooting as well. I'm just testing a system that will announce again into the Arc Global channel when a server is shutting down, when it's starting back up, and also when it updates and what got updated.
That will be cool. Number of times we get asked that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Brilliant. Excellent. Well, I think that's it for questions, guys. That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for showing up. It's usually good. It's always good to have a good audience here. And thanks, Alexa. Alexa, cancel. There we go. Yeah, guys, so we've been the Wicked Ninjas. You guys have been absolutely awesome as always. And thank you so much and have a good night.